As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more.
A big gaming industry CEO who was in the news, and this time it was EA CEO. And the headline here is, EA CEO tells staff it's been impeded by the FIFA brand. It's 4 letters on a box, is the quote. CEO Andrew Wilson claimed in an internal meeting that FIFA is holding back the football series. So Andrew Wilson gave his employees a frank appraisal of why he believes the company could be better off ending its 30-year relationship with FIFA. I want to get to the quote here. He says, I'm going to be more open than I've been with the outside world, Wilson said when asked why EA was considering breaking up with FIFA. We've had a great relationship with FIFA over the past 30-odd years. We've created billions in value. It's just huge. We've created one of the biggest entertainment properties on the planet. I would argue, and this may be a little biased, that the FIFA brand has more meaning as a video game than it does as a governing body of soccer. We don't take that for granted, and we try not to be arrogant. We've worked really hard to try and make FIFA understand what we need for the future. Basically, what we get from FIFA in a non-World Cup year is the 4 letters on the front of the box in a world where most people don't even see the box anymore because they buy the game digitally. This is pretty fire from...
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it will with the hot take.
This is amazing. The only thing that would have made this better is if you read it in Andrew Wilson's smooth Australian. He's so right. It's so correct. Like, they're paying $150 million a year, and he's so right. People think when people say FIFA, they think of the video game, not the corrupt soccer governing body.
I had no idea. I just learned that.
You just realized it's a governing body.
No idea. Sorry, Jeff, you're on a roll though. Sorry, keep going.
That was it. It's when you think about those cost savings, it's massive. They could call this EA Sports Soccer, EA Football. Like,
okay, but then why did they have the partnership? What do you think they got from it? Like, what broke the camel's back here in this relationship in your mind?
I think it was just money. There probably are other things involved there, but $150 million a year is a lot of money. Like, let's do the counterfactual. If they name this game EA Sports Soccer tomorrow, how many people say, oh, that game that I bought every year that I used to love, that's the exact same game next year? I'm not going to buy that because it's not called FIFA. It's now called EA Sports Soccer. Like,
how many customers do they lose?
Yeah. Zero.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, zero.
I don't know. Okay,
the
answer is zero.
I don't fully agree with that, because I think what that does, Jeff, is really undercut the value of branding. That's not to say that they can't rebrand and make it really awesome, but I don't think that coming out with
Lindsay,
EA Sports
I love you, but I think you are. I feel it strongly.
Hey.
All right, fine.
Don't
just smack him. He's in the room.
You are wrong.
It's not that I think that they have to be called FIFA. It's that I think that they need to come out with a strong brand in place of that, because as he said, people recognize the name FIFA as the soccer game more than they recognize the governing organization. It's not to say that they can't rebrand it to something stronger. It just has to be, and I think it will be, it has to be well done. And it has to have the same recognition and the same excitement as the word FIFA did.
Could they not do like they do with fake Rolexes? It's Rolex with an A. Like, could they not spell it FIFA, like FEEFA, or so people can still go around saying we're playing FIFA?
Or they can call it not FIFA, right? Just add 3 more letters on the box. What I love about this is, I wish this wasn't, because it seemed like a leak, right? Like a link of an internal discussion. This should have been the press release itself. And then for that reason, we're launching not FIFA, right? Or FIFO or whatever. Like that's the only thing that would have made this better. It's incredibly expensive to make a sports game, I think, because of the image and likeness rights that they need to acquire from those governing bodies. I don't know what the relationship with EA and FIFA was in terms of the profit share and what they got. So I think that maybe in the early days, 30 years ago, that was probably something that reflected that, or that considered the expense of getting those players' names and likenesses, and then the partnership just grew from there. But they're going to have a massive cost, I think, to continue to make a game with those players' images and names on their jerseys. But again, they're big enough where they can afford it now. Jeff, I saw you wanted to jump in.
Well, I'll just share a little context. So the FIFA license is one of, I think that the FIFA game that we know has over 200 licenses that they license from. So like they will not be losing any of the teams they license from, like the Premier League. I don't know soccer that well. So all the other leagues, all the different teams. So they will have everything about the game will be the same. I think every 4 years they usually have a World Cup edition. So that might be one of the things where they'll have to like wiggle with that, because that kind of is FIFA's brand. So there may not be like a World Cup kind of thing, which I could see a world where that hurts them a little bit. But it's not like all of a sudden you're going to open this game and it's going to be like, well, where is Chelsea? Where is Manchester United? Like it's like Johnny's football team or something like that. That's not what this license is.
I mean, one of the things the article does say, I don't know if this changes anyone's minds about this, is because Owen said EA is holding back FIFA. I mean, the article here specifically says that FIFA is stopping them from doing what they want with the game, like not allowing them to add in certain game modes, like 11 versus 11 and different other types of gameplay, other features. Like what EA is saying is because FIFA is stopping them from introducing all of these features, they're held back in the development of the game. So, I mean, that could be maybe even more powerful than the money, right? If they know players want game modes and they can't implement them because FIFA's holding them hostage for more money, I could see how they would maybe want to get out of that relationship. The question I have for you guys is, because Jeff, you brought up a good point, how many people would not buy the game if this was called EA Soccer, right? If I extend that to other sports, does your thought hold true? Like, meaning if instead of Madden, right, or like, which is their football game, like what if it was just EA Football?
So I 100% yes. If it was exactly the same, where if it was called EA Football and they still had they still have to pay for the NFL license and have the teams, then yeah, of course. And I mean, John Madden passed away this year, so it would be really, I don't think it would be a great thing for their
not the time
to get rid of it this year, but absolutely. If they're paying Madden $30 million a year, believe me, if the next year was called EA Football, of course everyone's going to buy it. There's only
NBA 2K wasn't game. NBA 2K, it was,
basketball.
2K basketball.
Yeah. I think in this case it's a little different because they're probably with that NBA license, they're getting the names and likenesses. So like, I don't know that you could sever those two ties. Soccer is different because it's like FIFA is this weird governing body, but it actually doesn't have the rights to anything besides the name FIFA. Yeah. So I think it's a bit unique.
Kevin says, could it be like NCAA football where every player is just a number, but the rest is the same? I don't know if people would like that, and it would make less money, right?
That would hurt it a little bit. I think that would hurt it a little bit.
For sure.
They make a lot of money on people wanting to acquire. I don't play a lot of FIFA, but like wanting to acquire players, right?
Yeah.
With certain characteristics in game also.